fair. Big had their moments of brilliance. And I mean, the three-man clutch, well, not really a clutch, right? But the 5v3 recovery over towards that A bomb site was absolutely incredible from Keto. He had some really, really amazing moments. But overall, across the series, his stat lines, his numbers weren't quite enough. As we jump into the first map of our second series, though, it's Big versus Movistar Riders. Big starting off on their CT side. As we go into Movistar's map pick. And we're on Inferno. So, interesting turf. A map that statistically is the most T-sided in the pool. Could favour towards the Movistar Riders. We'll see. They've definitely caught Big on a bit of an off day.
Yeah, I mean, if any team wants to sort of take revenge against Big, this is the day, right? This is the day where Big isn't quite big.
They're small.
They're small, yes. Well, getting ready for a brackets take very soon. They've got all of their pieces here as well. So this should be a one-and-done take. Nope, takes these backseas when it comes to this push. Crimbo missing quite a few shots. This is able to land two, though, before the action slows down. That kind of looked like a lost cause for a second. But suddenly the the table's been flipped upside its head. 4 versus 1. And unfortunately, there's nothing Movistar Riders can say about it. Beautiful work from Crimbo. Looked very sloppy at the start, but is able to make a full recovery.
That's actually ridiculous. Our observer moves away from Crimbo because he's whiffed a load of shots. He's stood in a molly and he's dead to rights. And you're like, there's no way he's going to get another kill. The observer switches away when he's down to like 20 HP or something. And then as it switches, bam, bam in the kill feed. 2 headshots and then he burns to the molly almost simultaneously. So incredible from him that he's actually been able to find a couple of kills there. Yeah, I mean, hella messy. Fast playing towards these like Tech 9 can be pretty menacing at this kind of range. When you've got the numbers, you can play the trading game. And Keto needs to deliver.
Yeah, he's just trying to buy as much time as possible for the CP rotations to come in. Maybe get some support from Coffin, but does he really need it? 4K before he falls. And mopoz, you know, this is a little bit out of his depth. A little too overwhelmed by Favin moving in with the A1, but that is still a whole lot of damage being delivered on the CT side. Great little second round from Movistar Riders, definitely putting those Tech 9s to good use, even if it doesn't translate into a full round.
That was incredibly well played from Big, though. Those rotation flashes, perfect. Keto says, I'm just going to tuck second oranges, and I need to just stay alive here. I know that if I die, they overwhelm the site, they get the bomb down, and then they're able to pick up our weapons, and you've got like a very fair 3-on-3 firefight. So, yeah, staying alive, calling for those flashes, and then as they pop, he just peeks off the back of them, finds himself a multi-kill. Arms 9 as well, absolutely perfect. Upgrading into the rifles here, up against just the pistols once again for Movistar Riders, so should be a guaranteed third for Big. A good start, a better start for them, really, than what we've seen so far today. But it's the rifle rounds where it really counts. Regardless, looking comfortable. So Movistar Riders take their sweet time with this one.
Flash is now starting to come through on the tabseN has the flash primed and ready for Keto to start mowing them down, and gonna have no troubles cleaning this up. 3-0. Big having a surprisingly clean start to the game, you know. We kind of expected them to be all over the place after they played that game against Hotu, but it's looking a little bit better now. Movistar Riders, I mean, to be honest, I think this is a better chance for Big than there was against Hotu, because before they were fighting against a team that was lower level but on the come up and a team that was having a good day. But right now they know that Movistar Riders is also having not a particularly top tier day, right? They've also been knocked down into the lower bracket, so it's not like they're having to face Movistar Riders at their full force.
Absolutely, and Movistar Riders are a team that they've played against plenty of times in the past. They're able to counter-strat them. They've got lots of matches on record, lots to sort of go back and look into, I guess. Whereas for Hotu, it was a completely unknown entity. Big opening kill, though. Gets the ball rolling here for the Spanish squad. Crimbo, it's messy again, but he does find one before he gets taken out by the flames. Hyped knows that he has to deliver here a multi-kill or bust.
Oh.
And as he's only good for one, sausoL will trade it, and that's gotta be the round done, surely.
Yeah, they back out of it just to try and save, but that 2v3 was still looking pretty palatable.
Yeah, I don't think they realized how much damage they did onto mopoz through the spams.
I'm not sure who the player was on balcony. Was it Hyped or was it Crimbo? I can't remember.
Crimbo was in pit.
Yeah, but you could tell that Hyped had the idea that he would just get a kill and then jump off, which is why like as he's flashed, he turns and then he looks into it, like he looks a little bit into the air because he assumes that he's dropping down, but he's just standing there, you know.
Yeah.
He assumes that even through the flash he's managed to make the jump down, but well, he hasn't. Otherwise, he might have been incentivized to continue holding mouse 1.
Yeah.
But
very, very
Movistar Riders, Movistar Riders, they've been able to put the first on the board, and this is where they can potentially get the ball rolling. Now, I'm a little surprised that they're able to get the entry the way they did in the previous round. You know, Keto just burning up when Keto is such a force to be reckoned with in a lot of these games, but that entry surely helped. I'm not sure if that kind of lady luck is going to be on their side many times, though.
Well, we'll see. No contingencies in the buy this time around. Big have got all of the tools to work with. Hyped with his AWP. Everybody else with the rifles. They've got Kevlar. They've got a couple of kits. They've got util on every man. They don't have a whole lot of cash to spare behind it, so it's important that they win this one. Otherwise, we could see this scoreline very quickly close up. But 30 seconds expended on the clock. Movistar Riders looking to go for another A hit this time around. There's a 4-man stack in place. Big surely have this under wraps.
mopoz, couple flashes. They're straight up jumping out of balcony, and they've not lost a single life as they go down. Gonna have to bite my tongue though, because now the kills are starting to come through. First kill collected. Just trying to buy time here on the site, but this Molotov will certainly make it a whole lot harder as tabseN quickly burns up. mopoz being able to navigate to pit as well, but it's still a 3-on-2, so the CTs are very heavily favored.
mopoz puts the numbers back to evens. Of course, the fact that that bomb's not down yet and Big are both in position does make this, yeah, a hell of a lot more palatable for them. They've managed to make the cross. Now Big down towards Mini. If he pokes his head up at the right time, he could be good for a freebie. There it is onto Hyped. And now they know exactly where Crimbo is. He's over towards short. They've spotted the barrel. They can bait him with the 2-man play. And 3-2, the scoreline goes. That was an important round for Big to be taking. They just couldn't tip it over the edge, even with the 4-man stack on the correct bomb site.
Yeah, even with the advantage there at the end, they had a 3 versus 2 going on, which you'd expect them to win most days of the week. Unfortunately, most is the big bold and underlined and italicized word here.
Yeah.
Down to the USBs now, though. Should be a comfortable round for Movistar Riders. Not a map that either of these teams are scared of playing on the T side, though, so very important to get T side rounds as far as Movistar Riders are concerned.
sausoL almost caught with his back turned, but as the AWPer confirmed that more players had run across, he was able to spin around and take care of things. So, yeah, that's kind of perfect for Movistar Riders. Up against a full eco, you're kind of expecting to lose a man, but keeping everybody alive, having a flawless round like that works wonders for your economy, especially on that T side. So, yeah, good stuff for them. Big back into this one with a full investment. AWP once again on Hyped. He hasn't been too hot with the early shots, and it does make me fear for him a little bit, because that's how he was in that first map of Mirage earlier on. He was a little bit slow to start, and he didn't really pick it up at any point through the game. Going for the early fight into middle, instantly flashed off the angle. He just has to fall away. Good spawn that he had for it out the window. And the Riders lean towards B.
There's a smoke primed and ready, though, to try and stop their progress a little bit. Retake Molly and smoke thrown, but not for the sake of Keto actually trying to retake it, just to ward them off for a little bit longer. There's still a Molotov available on Keto, though, so if they do decide to rush in, Keto can definitely stop the onslaught for about 10 seconds. Minute on the clock, though. Movistar Riders, they can still afford a couple of bumps in the road. But here it comes. Molotov dropped by Keto. They're trying to push forward. The Flames are going to stop them for a little bit longer, and that has bought time for rotations. But tabseN needs to go a little bit beyond. Unfortunately, he gets caught. Keto through the smoke as well. Unable to get anything on the board. Hyped and Crimbo, before they get to the B site, they've already been taken out of commission. A save is the only thing that's warranted here.
Oh, and it's back to good old Inferno, right? This is what makes this map very, very T-sided, because the rotations, the rotations between the two bomb sites for the CTs, it's just such a lengthy rotation, and the Ts are allowed to get so much ground and get so close to the bomb site before they're alerted. If Big aren't playing for the banana control, Movistar Riders can work their way all the way up to Car, so they're right on the cusp of getting onto that B site before the alarm bells are raised, before the Canary starts to call and say, come on guys, we need you to rotate over. And by that point, it's too late. The site's been lost. So many of these situations, the CTs are just forced to save. It's the same scenario as well over when it comes to the brackets control. The CTs aren't contesting it and they're playing from the site. It just leads to so many rounds where there's no choice but to save. It makes the CT economy very, very difficult to manage. And yeah, it puts Movistar Riders in a good position being able to start off on their T side on their pick.
Slower default early on, not really quite taking control of apartments as far as the T side is concerned. The CT's playing double short, lots of attention on B. The rotation will be happening soon as well. Nice little opener by mopoz. Now, that does put quite a bit of responsibility on the shoulders of Hype, who, in very recent history, by that I mean literally just the last game, didn't have a great time hitting many of his shots. Movistar Riders very comfortable with playing a relatively slow Inferno. Letting that CT side utility be used up. Crimbo has a great little boost, but I think they might be able to spot the fact that there is a boost available. Headshot connected onto Alex, and now they can back off. The numbers have been equalized, and they're bringing the fight to shore. The player on Haybill doesn't get checked. Favin, a deagle through the skull of Dav, and tabseN will quickly make himself known as well. And all of a sudden, mopoz and sausoL, in a round where they thought they had masterful control over the A site, they've quickly let it slip out from in between their fingers.
Yeah, and this half investment around those safe rifles seems to have paid a lot of dividend here. mopoz does find a headshot back, but it's just too little too late. Bombs down towards brackets. It's not actually being held, so they could have retrieved that C4. They could have worked their way back to B or something, but yeah, there's just no time for it.
Yeah, it really just comes down to the timer there at the end. And Favin being left unchecked is just such a big red flag there, right? He gets to tuck into the he gets to tuck behind the cart, and for the longest time there's absolutely no one checking for him. Comfortably moved to the right, gets a headshot, and well, you know how the story unfolded beyond that point. Now, still a great buy for Big. Same situation for Movistar Riders. None of the teams are going to be particularly hurting for cash, but whoever wins this round certainly puts themselves in a much more favorable position anyway. I think the CTs needed a little bit more than the Ts right now, considering sausoL and mopoz having a little bit of money in the reserve they can use to drop over teammates.
They start to group up. They're actually going to head back towards the A site. They've got mopoz towards top banana. He's just kind of making a bit of a ruckus, making a bit of noise. Davik caught on the other side of the molly, completely isolated from his teammates. No trade potential and a complete freebie for the sniper. As Hyped puts his second to his tally, looking to make it a third. Potentially about to press forward. Won't do so without a smoke first. Flash as well. Hyped gets off the angle. But a two-man advantage. They just need to group up, play the crossfires. There's surely no way they can lose this.
40 seconds now. T's getting ready to press on forward into A. But they're taking their sweet time. I think they're allowing Big to sort of second guess their positions, maybe catch them mid-rotate, but the problem is with 30 seconds to go in a 3-2 setup, there is absolutely no incentive for them to actually push the gas.
Well, here we go. Trigger pulled, but there's just no time for it. Again, Movistar Riders have just completely timed themselves out here. They've got the ground, they've got the space, but they haven't got the numbers, and they haven't got any time on that clock. So they'll fall away. Lucky that they're even allowed to carry those weapons across with Faven's position towards the bottom of second middle. Like, that could have been dire for them.
Man, while I really appreciate the fact that Movistar Riders aren't afraid of playing a slower style of Counter-Strike, which honestly does work well at times, especially when you're trying to draw utility from a big that is that's kind of on their toes right now, to be honest. It's appreciable for Movistar, but unfortunately, it can coax them into positions like the couple positions that just happened, right? 2 rounds in a row where they had difficulty having control of the timer. Granted, one of them was a 2 versus 4, so they were probably starved for options, but the previous one, definitely not.
Well, he slid back and forth there. Already 45 seconds expended on this clock, and Movistar Riders, other than the inherent mid-control that they've taken, they're only just starting to grab a little bit of ground. Big playing towards the top of Banana as well. Good smoke. So they try and re-establish the car control. But they don't press further forward. I like that discipline.
Big have a quick little boost on triple. And the thing is, Movistar have absolutely no mollies, so this is a near-perfect counterplay to what's about to come through. Utility now being primed and ready for the B site, and they don't really have an option to go all the way back to A because they simply do not have the time. 30 seconds to go, and now Big has to defend.
As Davik starts to press forward, mopoz taken out through the smoke, blinded as well, Keto. As tabseN knows that he can just pull mouse at 1 because they're all there. They have to be. They're funneling into this B site. They've got no time to go elsewhere. And Keto, once again, just happy to tuck himself behind second oranges and pounce once the flash has come in. And he is primed and ready to take the gunfight. 6-4, Big back in the lead, and they're looking good right now.
Definitely a lot more composure than we saw on in the previous game, but still not fully convincing just yet. Great to see Movistar using their timeout, though. I mean, this is probably a very appropriate time for them to use their timeout because, generally speaking, you see so many teams allowing their time to just completely run dry, be on the verge of collapse, be on like 11-3 or something, and then you start digging in for those timeouts. No, just use them from the get-go. Use them to pace yourself, and there's definitely something going wrong in terms of the calling over in the camp of Movistar Riders, which is why they're wasting quite a bit of time, and also, frankly, telegraphing their play quite a bit. You saw how they were completely silent with no information being presented over towards A, which didn't really, which instilled a lot of confidence in Big to just rotate their Arches player over back to B, and suddenly made it a whole lot harder for them to hit that B site with 30 seconds to go, so definitely some more creativity needed on the T-side department.
Absolutely, yeah. Inferno's a very easy map to time yourself out on if you're playing a default that relies on CT aggression. But when you're playing against a team like Big, with so much discipline, so much coordination, you're not going to get that. Boost has to drop down as the flash comes over. mopoz spotted, but maybe a little too late. Keto takes a lot of damage in the process, but valuable information. They confirmed that there's at least 3 players towards Banana. Not sure if the bomb was spotted. I don't think it was. In fact, it definitely was. As they start to work their way forward, they're playing a bit of a dangerous game.
Nice kill from Crimbo on middle. And again, Movistar Riders, they're feeling very suffocated. They've got no mollies to try and execute onto a bomb site. They've got a couple smokes, yes, but they're basically just going to have to go in dry. They've just with a flash and a couple smokes. And Crimbo collecting that kill aggressively makes it so much harder.
The two-man advantage once again feels like a very familiar position here for the Movistar Riders. If they were to just wrap around and hit A, they'd only have Crimbo to deal with. They'd have a much better chance of getting a bomb plant. But they try and wrap back around. Faven, oh, he just does it all for drop into the Deagle instead of the AK. Hits the headshot, follows up. Hype finishes things off. And, well, that'll wrap things up. 7-4. Big, really, really solidifying this lead.
I'm honestly very scared to go to map number 2 because I know for a fact that both of these teams have struggled on Vertigo, right? Movistar Riders, they've won it once in the last 4 times they've played, and they've gotten destroyed by Big, G2, Astralis. And on the other hand, Big, they've not won a whole lot either. They've had close games, but they've won it 33% of the time out of 12. So I was going to make a point about maybe Big having a 2-0 if they get through this comfortably, but then I looked at the stats and I'm like, no. Ooh. Kato tabseN's flashbang, and this is really just a firing gallery for the both of them.
I don't know, man. This is a Movistar map pick. And it feels like it's getting a little bit out of hand. I know that still early days, Movistar on their T side and whatnot. They do prefer that defense, so yeah, there's still a lot to play for here. There's still a lot of rounds left to play as well, more importantly. That's a nice shot from sausoL. But if Big can take a couple more here, give us a double-digit half, I think they've got a good shot at pulling this their way. Then they get to play Vertigo, their map pick, one that they're really, really strong on. Definitely a good chance for them. I say really, really strong. It's almost a little bit more of a punish pick. It's not one that they're super strong on. They've actually lost the last 5 games in a row they've played on it. But they've played it against a much higher caliber of opponent. I think that's sort of the important factor here. But
problem is, both of these teams are in the lower bracket right now, so I don't think they're worried about losing to higher caliber opponents. They're having trouble sort of sorting stuff out even at a tier 2 level.
I guess so. I guess so. But it's also one that Movistar Riders are rocking an even worse record on. So, and they don't play it all too much either. It's normally one they float as a third or an opponent's pick. So, yeah, definitely could be problematic for them. So now he's rain over the top. Brackets control somewhat obtained, but Faven, will he go unclear? This time, no. Mollied out, but it comes just before the smoke fades, so he is actually able to get out there safely. Bit of an oversight there for the Riders.
Alex, great collection early on. This is one of the very few times that Movistar Riders have actually been able to break into brackets without completely losing their minds and lives. Gonna be hard to get past Crimbo though, who's trying to snipe away with the A1S all the way from mini pit. Actually goes ahead to aggress, but that might be a mistake because sausoL takes him out. Hype though, making good use of that close range AWP somehow, and doesn't even need to collect the final kill because tabseN is right around the corner. And 9-4, Big looking much more comfortable now than they did in the previous game, which makes me circle back to the idea of, was that just too early of a game, Josh?
Possibly. This is what I was saying earlier, right? I mean, for me, I'm a bit of a late riser, right? I'll be honest. But these guys obviously used to playing morning matches. But it is just, there's something to be said for the fact, like, yeah, getting up, having something to eat, getting ready, whatnot. But they don't get too much time to actually warm up. And I think that Big are a team that maybe need just that little bit of extra warm-up time. Maybe a series under their belt, just to kind of, yeah, get the blood flowing a little. Force buy here for the Riders. They've kept some money in the bank to go for an investment in the next. But yeah, a couple of rifles, a MAC-10, a couple of pistols in play in this one. Man advantage in their favour early on. Hyped, tiny
Hyped.
gap. Ooh.
Yeah, and he spots a foot, so he's going to back off. He realizes that there's no reason to press the issue any further. And with this one man down, they don't want to convert it into a 5-on-3 where there's Tech-9s running amok on the site. Running straight out of Boiler, though. Hyped is able to take care of one with a no-scope. Even tries to get a pot shot through the smoke, but now tabseN will have to take the responsibility of two. Only gets down one, but Hyped is still a line of defense available on the A side. Gets one, switches over to short. Knows that there's a player crossing over into the site, but is relying on his teammate to cover all the way from long. Hyped, though, surely overwhelmed. Only lets it come down to Keto, who's crept through the smoke, but sausoL is ready and waiting for him. Big denied the double digits.
It's a huge round for Movistar Riders. One that they weren't even really expecting to win either. So, yeah, definitely something that they're going to be very, very happy to receive. Final round of the half then. Weapons to work with, AKs and an AWP. A full stacked up buy here for the Riders. Remember, they were saving enough money to actually go for an investment in this one regardless. So the fact they won that last round just really solidifies that further. Fast play towards Banana. They're trying to take this control. mopoz blinded though. Smoke. That's a perfect little bait from Keto, and it merits him too. That is beautiful.
Now big with that initial opener. They're in a much more comfortable spot. Movistar Riders are going to have to play on the offense now. Crimbo. Ooh, beautiful shot with the AWP. And could get a little bit more than he bargained for. Doesn't avoid the flashbang, but avoids the bullets coming his way regardless. 2-on-4 as they try to creep up brackets, but with 55 seconds at a mission, let's see how this one's going to go. Martinez slowly creeping towards A. tabseN. Nade catches Alex. Nearly 60 points of health. And Crimbo, he's got a nice little angle, but Martinez is ready. tabseN creeps out. Alex, the player with the low HP, has been taken out, but Favin will move back in time. We'll be right back after a short break to see how the rest of this game is going to unfold. Stay tuned.
Is it wrong of me to think of you all the time? Even though I'm with somebody new every night. And I pray, and I pray, and I pray that you feel the same way. Is it wrong of me to think of you all the time? Even though I'm with somebody new every night. And I pray, and I pray, and I pray that you feel the same way. I don't know what you're thinking, but my mind is full of fear. Cause I felt this world without you. I feel safer when you're here. It's been a couple months now, feels like time's been moving slow. And I can't tell where my head's at, so can you let me know? Is it wrong of me to think of you all the time? Even though I'm with somebody new every night. And I pray, and I pray, and I pray that you feel the same way. Is it wrong of me to think of you
Welcome back, everybody. It's been a rocky affair for both teams. Big and Movistar Riders who've been knocked down into the lower brackets. But Big is having a bit of a resurgence. Is Movistar Riders going to be able to come back on the CT side? We're about to find out. Big getting ready for a quick banana take based on slow contact.
mopoz jiggling. Smoke in hand, and all 5 players ready to pounce. Big not playing any lurkers, not playing any information game over towards the A site. They want to get it done here on B, and they want to get it done quickly. Glock's charging up close and personal, and the Julies, they have to go cowboy mode. Alex needs more than 1 and 2. Oh, that'll do, but traded evenly puts us into a 3-on-3 retake.
As soon as the bomb goes down, though, Movistar Riders, they're getting ready for that retake. The T's not really in great positions to actually capitalize on those Glocks, unfortunately, and there's a pair of dualies coming their way as well. Flashbang at the ready. They're getting ready to push in from coffins. They catch out the player in second box. Martinez with the first, but Hyped is able to quickly turn things around. Crimbo with a second, with the collected P2K and a third to boot. 11-5, and Big have put themselves in an incredible spot to try and close it out early.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's absolutely perfect from Big. I love the way that they just commit to that, even when things got a little bit sour in those first couple of duels with the dual Berettas and first Oranges, finding those 2 opening picks. The fact that they commit to it, they find those trades, they overwhelm the CT player to give them a little bit of space and time as well to get that bomb planted, take some of those post-plant positions. Just works really, really nicely. Forced by here for the Movistar Riders. Now, to be honest, I don't blame them, but they are playing a dangerous game. They don't have a huge margin for error here, losing the half 10-5. So if they don't win this round, eco in the next, they allow their opponents pretty close to the finish line. Maybe not. Maybe I speak too soon. Martinez hits an unbelievable 1D and puts the numbers in their favor.
Oh, great timing from sausoL there. He's able to catch Keto out as the Molotov is flying through, and Movistar Riders, they're in a great spot to turn it around before it gets too convincing for Big. Yeah, tabseN and Fav, and they're just feeling a little stuck.
I mean, so far, this has been pretty horribly played for Big. Oh my god! What is happening? Okay, that was horrible from Big. That was horrible. The first kill, fine. You can kind of shrug that off and say, there's not a lot you can do about that. You're playing your default, you're holding towards the bridge in second mid, and yeah, someone swings boiler and rails you, fine. Or swings bedroom, sorry, and rails you, fine. Whatever, right? But just peeking in 1 by 1 into brackets, right into that crossfire, right into that FAMAS. It just makes no sense. And then at the end there as well, pushing into long with, what, 2 bullets in the clip? I mean, my goodness, that was really, really poorly played. And now cost them. It's going to cost them big time. They're now forced down to pistols, and maybe start chance at a shot that they shouldn't have really had at closing this scoreline. Nice kill from mopoz.
Honestly, if Big were able to close out that second round, the GG could have been made so much earlier, right? It could have happened so much faster. But suddenly, Big have extended the lifelines, extended an olive branch to Movistar Riders to potentially go for a comeback here. Starts 10-5, get the pistol, but now Movistar Riders can quickly start to creep in. Martinez holding the long angle. Just wants to make it a firing range with that AK-47 as they start to move in. Shouldn't be too difficult for him, unless he gets popped by the Deagle.
Wow. Very fast shot from Keto. If he can follow up here as well, that's so messy from Davik. That's a kill that he absolutely has to be finding, and when he doesn't, there's problems. sausoL, second man swinging out from pit, not expected, and is able to bring the numbers back to even. But regardless, the bomb goes down. His position still problematic. He's still hitting heads, running out of bullets, swaps out to the USP. They are having a real hard time killing him, though. And with only the Deagles left, I think this retake should still come into fruition.
Yeah, sausoL's position is everything there. The fact that he's able to stick around and get 2 kills off the back of it, that is just beautiful work being done. Those 2 kills basically change the outcome there. If he's not available in pit there, the fact that Keto gets an entry, switches over to the AK, gets the player in mini pit as well, that's pretty much the A bomb site being opened up. Just that final defense is what saves Movistar there. But still, a pretty hefty amount of damage regardless.
I mean, it's a bit of a shame that they're able to hit such crisp shots on those entries, right? And then the one kill that really, really counts in that situation, which is finishing off sausoL and Pit, just felt like they fired off entire magazines of deagle shots and just couldn't finish him off. Got him down to about 19 HP, but that was the most we saw. But as you say, regardless, they get a bomb plant, they get 3 frags. Not bad damage at all. Or was it 2? No, I think it was only 2. Regardless, bomb plant is the key there. But up against the eco, shouldn't be too problematic. Looks like bomb plant's going to be the jackpot again here for Big if they can find it. Funneling through this smoke. Alex turns a decoy and actually loses his life. If Crimbo can trade this, mopoz, he's low HP. Okay, now a bomb plant. That's what they wanted. That's fine. That's a great round.
A bomb plant and a chance to potentially take over Coffin, maybe get a better position to try and do a little bit more damage. But he chooses not to get the M4. There it is, first one, and nearly had the chance to follow it up, but still a pat on the back regardless for Crimbo because he did an incredible job at getting this bomb down.
What a shot onto CT as well. I can't believe that he didn't take that extra step forward to pick up the A1S. I was thinking, well, that could have been extra damage, but no, probably not now. But hitting a shot like that, he sort of said to himself, you know what, I haven't got Kevlar, so I'm probably better off just popping ahead than trying to spray down anybody. Despite the fact that Big have struggled in these last couple of rounds, they've lost them, they have sort of made the most out of pretty bad situations and maintained a little bit of the mental game, I think. Maintained a little bit of control despite the fact they've only been down to pistols.
Slow round. That entry certainly makes things easier because they can narrow it down to just a 2 and 2 setup on either site.
This man advantage is absolutely key. As they start to walk into the waiting AWP of Martinez. They could be in for a nasty surprise. He's on the deep angle, but bouncing between it and Boiler Room. If they flash him off of this could be the end, but walking into him with your back turned is definitely a surefire way to get yourself killed. And all of a sudden, the rotations come in desperately. The bomb starts to entertain the idea of going back, but there's only 20 seconds. Have to press in for this.
Martinez, he's delayed too much. He's wasted so much time. Favin, though, gets a kill onto sausoL. And the bomb has just enough time to get planted. Although the CT's made a valiant effort to try and stop it, there's still quite a bit of work left to be done. mopoz moves right in. Crimbo catches him in the back. Still, Davig trying to get this 1v2 going, but I think he quickly realizes that there's probably a very slim chance that he does. AWP on his angle. Missed shot. A chance to keep creeping closer, but the bomb is ticking down as well, and Hyped will eventually put him in the grave. 12-8. A 4-round deficit. And Movistar do not have any money to fight back.
That was a hell of an attempt from Martinez as well. It's a real shame. Couple of really nice shots. And just really good pathing from him as well, as you say, just to bide time, wait for those rotations to come in. Unfortunate, his teammates just couldn't output that same kind of damage. 12-8, 4-round lead. It could be made 5 here. As the Riders don't have a whole lot of cash. A 4 spy in play, but 2 FAMASs, 2 Desert Eagles. Martinez on another AWP. Could be deadly. Go on, go for the peak, spots the head, but
Oh,
doesn't quite connect. That was close.
yeah, nearly. Bear in mind, Movistar Riders have bought up completely, right? They're relying on the AWP and Martinez to actually be able to sort of have that clutch potential, pull out something crazy. They cannot afford to make any mistakes. mopoz, great work with the flashbang from Alex. Brings the numbers down to 4-on-4, but unfortunately, that is still more of a T-side advantage than anything. Unable to back off after the initial kill. No information being collected by the T's on A. They're getting ready for a full cavalry push on the B site.
Well, with a man advantage. Sorry, no man advantage. 4v4. But evens here for Movistar Riders, which definitely favours them to some degree. Boost over the top. sausoL can see over this smoke. What a shot! Oh my goodness. And they can now kind of drop off of this and wait for the rotations to come into play. Wait for that banana pincer to get into position.
Bear in mind, there isn't any more utility left on the T's either, so planting this bomb is going to be a nightmare, especially with Davik moving in for the flank, gets the player in banana, and Favin, he's trying to fight back. He's quickly punching the digits in, 1 versus 2, does get the bomb down, but he's taken down subsequently after. 12 and 9. Great work by Movistar Riders, able to work off of very limited resources to convert.
He had 22 seconds on that clock when he went for the plant, so I'm surprised he didn't use that bomb to try and isolate one of those spots, to bring it down to that 1v1 position, but regardless, you can't really put too much weight on him in the team effort losing that round. Really, really nice stuff from Movistar Riders. A couple of really nice shots. I love the initiative on the boost over towards Coffin. See over that smoke. It's something that you're actually quite exposed, right? You're well above the smoke, so it's not like it's just your head poking out or anything like that. But it's just such a bizarre off angle, and it's something that's so overlooked when the Coffin smoke's in play that it just felt like Big weren't ready for it at all. It puts Movistar right back in the picture. Big economically broken again. A chance for this scoreline to become contentious.
Slower approach from Big now. Only got that AK on tabseN to really play around with. And playing off of apartments with an AK is definitely not an easy affair. Trying to peek out, is able to get one, but that bomb quickly brought into the possession of the CTs. The scoreline continues to get reeled in by the CTs. Movistar Riders only 2 rounds away from potentially tying things up.
Yeah, and to be honest, that becomes effectively 1 when you look at the fact that there is no money in the camp here for the big squad. They've got nothing to view pistols. They'll have enough cash to go for a proper investment in the next, but that feels like a long way away. Rifle should be able to dispose of this. Kevlar and Tech 9s, though, definitely have been quite formidable in the past.
Ooh, Crimbo. Expecting there to be a player on shore, tries to swing out straight up. sausoL, this time around, he doesn't get away with any of his pitch shenanigans. 3 versus 5, and the CTs, they scramble, they run away in fear of the Tech 9s. It's not over just yet, though. These Tech 9s want to get a bit predatory here. Hyped. He's been spotted. He knows that mopoz is right around the corner as well. Nearly lands the headshot. But the round is already over. Doesn't matter how much they defend themselves. The 13th is going to be secured for Big.
completely ridiculous that these kind of Tech-9 force buy rounds are actually having as much weight behind them as they have been. And 13 rounds, what should have been a bit of a freebie there for the Movistar Riders, goes very, very sour. And another full investment, guns out from both sides. AWP on Martinez, one in the hands of Hyped as well. Good chance to do some damage with it, Martinez. Oh my goodness, that was close.
Slow traversal into brackets now. Mopoz could be caught out here if he doesn't try to tuck himself in. He does eventually. Smoke is going to deter him from peeking out. Oh my goodness, what is that messy play from Mopoz? Is still able to get Faven in the midst of the madness. But now Dav is going to have so much responsibility to try and hold the site. sausoL has been so good in mini-pit before. Question is that excellence going to continue again? The CTs have been granted so much time to rotate, Josh.
sausoL in position, still down towards this pit. He's got a bit of a crossfire, but that smoke breaks it. So him and his teammate kind of by themselves here. Davik has to deliver, and he does. Good for two. sausoL and Alex chime in with one of their own as well. And, well, it puts an 11th on the board for the Riders, and a much-needed round, especially after losing that last.
What was going on with Big, to be honest? Like, it kind of felt like they had a decent idea that they wanted to end it on A, but then they threw out their utility. You know, they had that library util going. They lose a player there, they get a trade, and then they just fail to commit. Beyond that point, they just freeze up, and that freezing up also means that a library player can rotate in. Just makes it so much easier for Movistar Riders to keep themselves alive in that round. Big, however, back to a very shaky buy. tabseN and Hyped both on AKs, everybody else on pistols. Big is sweating right now. They know they're only 3 rounds away from just sealing the deal in terms of their opponent's map pick. Unfortunately, those 3 rounds will be hard to come by.
Well, mopoz in position, sprays down 2, and obviously around they don't have too much money in, but they should be getting more than this. And for mopoz, he's playing whack-a-mole. It's a firing range here on the B-bomb site, finally taken care of. But Crimbo, it's too late, my friend. They're already all around you, behind you, as Davik finishes him off. And 13-12, I mean, you're right. Big sweating here, because this one is getting close.
I really appreciate the supportive utility that Movistar Riders have been throwing for each other. It always seems like every time a player is stuck in a difficult spot, there's a supportive flashbang that comes out of nowhere, right? Even in that position where mopoz is kind of stuck behind pillar, he quickly realizes that a teammate's about to chuck a flashover, communication's on point, which is why he's able to so comfortably play whack-a-mole the way he did.
Oh, what a shot from Martinez as well. They're just coming into a new element, honestly. Movistar Riders is consistent in these last few rounds with these opening picks. It's meriting them these early advantages. It's untraded time and time again. And the fact that Davik, does fall back before the smoke fades. Could have had a freebie onto Crimbo there if he'd played his cards right. Still might, to be honest. That's a good nade as well, yikes.
Yeah, and Crimbo realizes that he can't really win a 50-50 duel with this kind of HP, so he's going to have to back off. Doesn't contest the player on site anyway, but look at this rotation from Movistar Riders. They have all 5 players on A, so they're entirely relying on this B side being at the mercy of a retake. Are they even going to go for this if this turns out into a bomb plant?
I'd like to think so. Yeah, look, they're coming in from Banana. But yeah, this is going to be a retake, and it's off of Crimbo's fake that wasn't really a fake. He just jiggled short. So, bit of a weird ambition, and it might just cost them as tabseN finds one more. Crimbo follows up. It's an absolute firing range in Banana. And you were asking if they were going to save. Well, they didn't before, but they certainly will try to now. And tabseN's going to deny it, surely. Over the top of the smoke, one will slip away. That's
man.
Martinez, but sausoL didn't take the opportunity, and now he's stuck.
That's so strange from Movistar Riders. They've had no trouble holding down sites with just a 3-2 setup. Maybe have a slightly early rotation is something that I could definitely see being warranted. But to have all 5 players rotate over at the exact time that you receive a little bit of fake information.
Yeah, it was bizarre. There was still time on the clock as well, so it wasn't like you're saying, oh, we've spotted the bomb and there's 15 seconds left, they don't have time to rotate. They also had a man advantage. Going for 5-man stacks like that is something that you'll often see when a team maybe a man down. You say, look, we're in a 5v4, we're struggling, we've had trouble holding down to these sites, so we're going to play for a bit of a 50-50 gamble like this. But yeah, with a man advantage, they've got all of the cards in their hand, and they decided to throw them all over the floor. And it all became very, very messy. Rifles out again, regardless. That AWP still in play for Martinez, but instead of it being 13-13, it's now 14-12, and Big 2 rounds away from the finish line on their opponent's map pick. To boot Movistar Riders right out the qualifiers as well. This is the lower bracket, man.
Waiting for the flash, but Hyped is just positioned perfectly to avoid it. Keto with a left side smoke, Molotov under shelter as well to dissuade anyone peeking from short. Now they're slowly gaining control of that ace site. And the position where it would have been warranted to call in those early rotations, that's where they're in right now, and unfortunately they've only called in one. sausoL now trying to make use of the smokes that are coming his way. mopoz also trying to peek over the box, eventually gets taken away by favN. sausoL looking a bit confused, but he's still managing to stick it out. Great aim onto the player on Graveyard, still messing with the bat, just dancing around the bomb site, and brings it down to a 1-on-2, where Crimbo has to be the hero for Big. A 1-on-2, he's got the bomb. Wants to narrow it down to just a 1-on-1 before he goes for anything. They know that he cannot rotate over to B because they've locked down everything. Oh, yeah. Nearly gets the shot on Martinez, but he's not able to get it done. Movistar Riders, what a play from sausoL.
That's actually pretty sick from Martinez as well, that he's holding towards the top of Graveyard. Considering the fact that there were sort of 3 different elevations that he could have peeked from there. Could have peeked from the bottom of the stairs, could have peeked from the bomb site or behind the default box, or up top. And yeah, still connects that shot before the rifle can convert that kill. So 14-13, just pistols here. In fact, a full eco for Big. A couple of P250s, a couple of Deagles invested, but nothing more than that. tabseN and favN with a little bit of extra money, so they've got that Kevlar behind them, and they've got enough to drop an AWP in the next, maybe over to Height. But I can't imagine they get too much out of this. So Movistar Riders likely able to tie up this scoreline here, and then we'll see either a full 30-rounder or maybe even another overtime. Big have seemed to like them today.
Could basically chalk it up to a 14-14 at this point. Big, in that previous round, they had such a good read, right? They nearly made the right plays, but they just couldn't get past mopoz. Martinez hanging around the corner with his AWP, gets a collateral, and quickly realizes that it's time to bow out, just get to the comfort of the site. Knows he's got a couple players there, they're ready and waiting to defend, so no reason to risk his life there, especially not with 20 seconds on the clock. And they gotta push in now. They can't risk having their money fall apart because they decided to save Deagles accidentally. Question mark? This is getting worrisome.
What is going on? Oh, they need to get this bomb down. If it's denied, they're in trouble. favN, just run in and die, my friend. Don't kill him. Don't kill him. Let him die after time. Oh, that is disastrous. How could you play that so terribly bad? Luckily for favN, he did actually have 3,500. He's not in as bad a position as he could have been, but it's still not great. Not for round number 30. Or 29, sorry.
He avoided bullets so well when he needed to get hit by them the most.
Oh.
God damn it. Oh, man. It happens.
It happens? Yeah, is that how we just shrugged this off? It is what it is.
It is what it is indeed. Ooh, I'm sure
Mopoz
mopoz now realizes that tabseN's up close.
Oh,
one-for-one trade. Yeah, very messy. And Favin, it doesn't matter to him that he's botched his economy in the previous round. A MAC-10 will do just as good, but Dav comes in from the sidelines, comes in for the kill, and now it's a 3 versus 3, getting ready for a B hit. Rotations also coming in. Flashbang to try and assist. Dav moves out with a flashbang. tabseN immediately responds, but sausoL and Martin is still alive, still kicking, and still getting ready for the retake. Numbers now dialed in, and the T's, they've got to defend.
A lot to do here. 2v2 and a retake imminent. sausoL. Up close, Crimbo around the other side of this corner, but Bomb almost already halfway ticked. With tabseN finding that kill, the shadows, the sun, it's just such a cruel mistress in situations like this. You're trying to get the drop on them, you're trying to have an element of surprise, but you cast the shadow around the corner before you show yourself. And 15-14, big map point. They have a good chance of getting it done. Movistar Riders don't have too much cash to invest into this.
What a strange sequence of rounds overall. Like, these are some of the most chaotic duels I've ever seen.
It's been a weird one.
Crimbo, he's been so good at taking the information away from the CTs before. He's going to do it again while Keto moves in to be the first player on B. Flashbanged out of his mind, but is still able to get the entry on Alex. And tabseN adds one to the tally as well. 5-on-3 Movistar Riders. They put up such a good fight going into this game, but they might just be eked out by a 1-round margin. Getting ready for the 3 versus 5 retake now. It's all or nothing.
Well, it's do or die, as you say, for Movistar Riders. No time to save, even though they ordinarily would. And a 2-man disadvantage. Someone has to go big here. Davig only down to that MP9. So it's the M4.
Oh.
And tabseN seemed to have some spidey senses tingling there that someone was perhaps in the smoke. Instead, it's Crimbo to finish him off regardless. But 16-14, okay, far from convincing, but regardless, it's their opponent's map pick. It doesn't matter how they get it done, as long as they do, and they'll be happy with the result.
Absolutely.